490 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. Engine bolted to the middle of the car. And one slightly soiled set of trousers. Okay, we'll downshift into seconds. It's awesome. It's immediate. It's not like one of these things where it's just tacked on there. You hit the gear lever or the paddle and nothing happens. That is not the case here. By the way, General Motors has made a reputation for themselves in terms of their interiors. But, and I don't mean in a good way, but this, it's unreal. Like, it doesn't even feel like General Motors built this interior. Leather everywhere. Suede headliner, suede roof, removable targa. It kind of feels like you're in the Bat Pod or a fighter jet. The hood, instead of like Corvettes of yesteryear, they would all just go forever out in front of you. The hood just falls away. It's like you're looking over the edge of a cliff. There's a Ram TRX. I could eat his lunch. And I think I shall. I'm just kidding. I've had 2 people try to race me this afternoon. Both times the camera wasn't on. Naturally. The only Shakespeare I remember applies right now. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. A large Diet Coke with easy ice and a medium fry.
Anything else?
No, that'll do it.
667 first window.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Sorry, I blew past you. My fault.
667.
All right, didn't mean to get that far away either. Thank you so much.
Today.
Appreciate it. I missed the drive-thru window completely. Check this out. This is really cool. Gives me a bird's eye view of the front of that car because it can be very easy to clip it on curbs, sidewalks, etc. That's a great feature. That's really cool. Okay, so what do I think so far? Well, it doesn't feel like the way I thought it would. One of the sensations is a sense of relief. For as much tech that they've crammed into this car, it feels surprisingly analog. Like really analog. There's something about having the engine right behind you, like right behind your head. And you hear all the pops and rumbles and ticking, and it's awesome. Like you can hear the engine working. In so many applications today, when we get in cars and they are piping in amplified engine audio in through the speakers, I'm looking at you, Ford. This is such a breath of fresh air because it just puts the monster right behind your right ear. It's terrific. It feels very analog. The steering is phenomenal. The cool thing about this car is that when you're driving it, you can feel everything that's happening at the front wheels. And that's where you get your confidence from. The grip is extraordinary. You got the engine sitting right on top of the rear axle. It's like, it's incredible. So when General Motors was developing this car, they referred to it as Project Blackjack. They did their best to keep it away from the press photos and the paparazzi, but what they did to obfuscate their true purpose was they brought in a Holden Maloo, which is a truck over there. They had it shipped over here, cut it all up, and they basically took the front end from a C7 and they kind of bolted it onto this Holden, and they had the engine right where the bed would be. And that's how they started testing this thing. These seats are amazing, by the way. They just hug you and make you feel secure enough to launch this thing into a corner. Carbon fiber framed, but very plush leather. Feels great. All right, I gotta focus. Manual. Okay, here comes the gear change down. I can't tell you how rare it is to drive something with a dual clutch and have it actually feel like it means something. I mean, the way it's set up, they'll let you brake this car. It's so fast. It's so fast. The gear changes are so fast. All right, let's give it a go. It's so fast. It's so fast. The thing is, this car almost feels clinical. So one of the things that is a little bit one of the things that's a little bit disconcerting, you feel like you hear like gravel and stuff hitting the bottom all the time. And like here, there's a speed bump, and I'm like, I'm not going over it. I'm gonna put it in reverse. By the way, I just noticed this. One side mirror is bigger than the other. I guess they had to do that so you could see out of both sides equally, but that one has a longer arm. That's interesting. Truthfully, this is a car I wish I had a week with. It's not like you get away from the feeling of being mass produced. I mean, this is General Motors, but it's so readily apparent that so much work went into this. It kind of makes you just want to take care of it. It's not that it feels fragile, it just feels special to someone. Braking is firm, turn-in is good. There's not a ton of nosedive, but you definitely know where the car is going to end up. I could see driving this thing hard a lot. It makes it very easy to do so. But maybe it's just me, but hearing and feeling the engine and feeling some of the analog sensations of this, it's kind of a mixed bag. I'm sure a lot of people would take this to the golf course and be perfectly happy, but it is all, to me anyways, it's so obvious that this thing belongs on a track. This rides like a track car that has insanely good road manners. The focus group says that we need more cup holders. The focus group says we have to have a big A iPad for the dash. This doesn't drive or look or feel like a car that was built by committee. I think that's it. I think that's what I've been having a hard time articulating the way I feel about this car. It's strange. This won't feel as alien to someone who's more accustomed to driving mid-engine vehicles, but to the rest of us, it feels like an event. I'm sorry, but can we just talk about this a second? This is mesh. This is mesh right above the engine, right above the hot block, and I can feel the heat coming off the engine through the mesh. It's amazing that they just leave it kind of exposed in a way. And I know that was a deliberate engineering decision, and I think it goes to explain a lot of what's happening with this car. All good things come to an end. I have to take this thing back to the dealership now. Unless I just want to leave a check on their desk.